We're here. Let's go. Okay, so the area I'm in right now, there is a business right behind me, but it's like a storage facility. So I don't hear any doors opening or closing, anything like that. The only issue is there's a long fence line, and behind that fence line is a ton of houses, and these houses go all the way down, and I'd say maybe 75 to 100 yards. It cuts off 90 degrees and go to the right. So I am surrounded by a bunch of houses, but there's this little bit of area where behind all those houses is a long strip of woods in between the houses and this business. So this is where we're going to set up our, I guess our stealth camp. So what I'm going to do right now, because I did make some noise coming in, I'm just going to sit here and kind of listen and see if I hear anybody outside. So the biggest thing is there is leaves everywhere, so I can't walk around and not make noise. But I'm going to try to minimize it as much as possible by putting my foot down on the blade and the heel, and then slowly rolling my foot towards the front and then to the side. And that's going to help minimize the noise. But again, I mean, there's leaves and broken branches everywhere. My biggest concern isn't so much people, but their dogs. And if their dogs are in the backyard, it is pretty cold outside right now. And it's Sunday, so probably everybody is home. So I'll be back in a few. I'm just going to sit here and listen to the sounds. The other thing is, when I was coming up, what I was trying to do, as the wind started blowing a little bit more, that's when I was trying to move a little bit quicker, and I wasn't concerned with the sound quite as much. So it sounds like the wind is kind of picking up a little bit. I think that was somebody's AC unit kicking on. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. I'm just gonna sit here and listen. So here's the plan. I did come out here a couple weeks ago, and I did already clear out some of the brush to plan for this. So I think the plan for today is I'm gonna do a ridge line. The tree is kind of thick, but I can go off of the fence, I think, without making any noise. This fence here, and then I'm gonna stretch it across this. Stretch it across this tree right over here. And last time I was out here, I did find a piece of metal, and while I was clearing the brush, what I did is I went ahead and I didn't know what to do with it, so I cut down some brush and I threw it in the trees. This is a piece of sheet metal back here. I was hearing. So as far as being quiet and stealthy, other than me talking, okay, I don't know if you saw that cardinal. That cardinal flew right up to me, but now there's a dog out. So right before I cut the video off last time, that cardinal flew and landed right here on that branch. And you can hear him up there seen so far is I believe it's two female cardinals. So I have studied a couple bird chirps and stuff like that over the years, so I know what a cardinal sounds like. So I'm pretty sure it's the males that are bright red, and these are a dark brownish red color. So I've got two cardinals sitting over here, and they're getting really close by. And then these dogs over here. I don't see any people over there, it's just their dogs, so I gotta be pretty quiet. But in one of the blogs that I posted, I did post about some colored clothing. Now I'm not doing any camouflage or anything like that, but you can see I got a green shirt and I've got tan pants on, so everything, as you can see back here, there's green on the outside. Everything, all this underbrush and undercut, whatever you call it, it's all mostly brown. So anyone looking over here should, as long as I'm still, I should blend in pretty. I should blend in pretty good. And just to show you how close I am to this fence. Now if I was to, it's probably like, that fence is about 10 feet away. Anyway, okay, so back to it. So the plan is to hang up this ridge line and then hang up the tarp. I think what I'm going to do is an A-frame tarp. And then the main reason I wanted to do this video today is try out my new knife. And I got a couple other knives here just to kind of go over some options, but this is the I forgot what it's called, EJ Snyder SXS. It's a skull crusher. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna attempt to put up this ridge line, and then I'll go over how I do it. That way you guys get an idea. Okay, looks like another dog is out. But I think these dogs are barking at each other, so they're not really concerned with what I'm doing. But also here, I think I hear a squirrel behind me making this little clucking noise. I'm gonna tie a bowl in real quick. I'm gonna use this to hang my bag up. So I'm gonna take the right hand side of our string, and we're just gonna put it right over the top. And we're gonna lay that flat, and it makes this little loop. We're gonna take that end, we're gonna put it around here, and then we're gonna close that loop. So what this is gonna allow me to do is I can wrap this around a tree. I'm gonna pull this through, and I'm gonna use a stake and put it through here, and I'm gonna get my bag up off the ground. Ridge line, pretty much the same thing. I've got a bowline on one side, so what I'm gonna do is wrap this around that tree over there, and I'm gonna use the toggle. I'm gonna put the toggle in there. That's gonna hold on the side, and then on this tree over here, I'm gonna do a trucker's hitch, and I can pull that nice and tight. And then I've already got some prusik knots on here, and I'm gonna use some toggles. So I'm gonna make some stakes, and I'm gonna stake this down. Okay, so here is my trucker's hitch. And what we do is just pull this until it gets really tight. And then we'll tie it off. So far, so good. Okay, let's hang up the top. So this isn't the one of my best builds, but normally what I'll do is I'll do it a little bit taller, and what that allows me to do is run some prusik knots to get the tops pulled tight. But I've been hearing a lot of noise. There's business back here behind me. I heard a couple doors, car doors. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get this up just pretty quick. So the good news is, sorry, it's a little cold. My nose is real runny. Is I don't necessarily need that on the top because it's not real windy. But being that my tarp's a little bit big, what I was able to do is just fold it under, I used my ridge line, laid it across the top of that, staked down the sides, using that knife, which works really well. So this saw in the back works out perfect for cutting notches. So I'll just run a notch in there and then do a cut at an angle right down into that notch, and it works perfect. So I think I'm just gonna hang out here for a little bit, and so far I'm really liking this knife. It's nice and sharp. I think it's gonna be able to do everything that I want it to do. If I need to do any chopping, it's got a lot of that weight on the front end. If I need to cut through some, it's not gonna do great for big branches, but any kind of small, medium, that should work really well. Any kind of notching right there, any kind of whittling or anything I need to do, be really good there. And then I'm thinking, probably make a later video on making a fire. I'm thinking this little edge right there is I can actually run the wood right into there and get some, carve out some real thin pieces of wood to get some kindling for a fire. So I think this knife is going to work really well. Next thing I'm going to do is probably go ahead and tie some paracord in here just as a little bit better grip, and then maybe kind of a lanyard at the bottom to wrap it around the wrist. That way if you're doing any kind of chopping, it doesn't fling out of your hand. But let's just hang out here, enjoy the sounds, enjoy nature, and see what else we got. Oh, this is it. So it actually, not too bad. The outside, or the inside, I guess technically it's the inside, is brown. As you can see, it actually blends in pretty well. Okay, so I think all the dogs are up. So what I'm gonna do is just, I got some loose brush and stuff down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start hanging that kind of like this over the top, just to give it a little bit more camouflage, a little more stealthiness. Okay, so that's not great, but it's a little bit better. So let's go ahead and hop inside and hang out for a little bit. Alright, so let's, first step is getting everything put together. Let's go over a couple of things I learned. Usually every time I do these, there's always something I learn. And I think today the biggest thing I kind of learned is that not everything goes to plan, especially if you want to make a video while trying to do a stealth camp, especially where I'm at, along a bunch of houses. So we had some dogs, had a bunch of noise, some people back behind me. I heard some car doors slam. So my goal after I started hearing all this noise is to get the shelter put up as quickly as possible. Now, stealth camping isn't something you'd really realistically ever need to do unless you're in not such a good situation, but it does allow you to kind of think outside the box of, if something happens, finding a place to go, learn how to be quiet, how to continue the process of your knowledge on your tying knots, ridge lines, quick deploy ridge lines, how to set up everything quicker. Like, one example would be, let's say you're out camping or out hunting, whatever you're doing, and it starts pouring down rain, and you got to get all your stuff set up ASAP so you don't get soaking wet. That's kind of what I did here, is I got everything set up way quicker. Well, it's on the slow side just because of the noise. I had to be quiet, but I didn't get set up the way I wanted to, but it still works. I can still, if it's raining, I still stay dry. I wanted to go over showing how to set up everything, but because I'm not in the best place, I wasn't able to do that. So that leads me to a couple shout outs. First shout out to, and definitely go check out these guys' pages, is Corporal's Corner. He does a lot of camping where he sets up ridge lines and he goes over all this stuff. And so he's definitely been a pretty big inspiration to get me to get outdoors more. So check his page out. And then as far as the stealth camping, I think it's, I don't know, Steve, I don't know his last name, Wells or Wellis. He does a lot of stealth camping, and that guy is really awesome. So there's 2 pages, absolutely go check out. So the next step, we'll call it step 2, Mr. Steve. I don't drink beer, I'm not a beer drinker, but that doesn't mean we can't have our own step 2. I was thinking about maybe doing root beer. I didn't have any root beer, but I got some graham crackers. So our step 2 today is gonna be some graham crackers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Steve's videos, Camping with Steve. Here's to you, sir. So while I enjoy these, I'll be back. Alright, so the battery and my GoPro pretty much dead. So now I'm resorting to my camera phone, or my phone's camera. And it's 5:13 right now. I think I came out here about like 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. And just been kind of hanging out, just relaxing. And let's see, I got a fancy watch, so this is $7:34 for sundown. So we got a couple hours before it starts getting dark. I think what I'm gonna do is I think once it gets dark, I'll pack everything up because I gotta go to work tomorrow, and I won't have enough time to get home, take a shower, and all that good stuff. So I'll just wait till it gets dark. And one thing I was thinking about doing, I don't know that I would get away with it, is there's a creek drainage, something down the way, over this way, drainage from this business that's back behind me. They got a large concrete parking lot. So we had some rain not too long ago, so there's some water down there. So I was thinking about, we were getting a couple of bottles, filling up with some water, coming down here back on this side, and building like doing like a Dakota fire pit, and then using the water and get some clay, and building a chimney around it, kind of have it butted up next to this tree over here, and then the little bit of smoke that there is kind of run up the tree, and the leaves and branches and everything kind of it spreads out, so it's not this thick cloud of smoke. But I don't know if I'd be able to get away with that. What I may do it anyway, maybe just not have a fire, maybe just build it to kind of build it, because I've never done that before, so that may be fun to do. It's gonna take quite a bit of time though, because I get a little bit of water. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe next video in the future. Other than that, I'm just gonna kind of hang out and just relax. All right, so it's starting to get dark. It's let's see, 7:25. Sundown will be in the next 10-15 minutes. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I had all these holes. I went ahead and try to come up with a somewhat cool design for a paracord to wrap through there. I got a little bit of tail left over, so I still got to figure out what to do with that. And then I wrapped the handle of the knife, and I didn't like the way it came out. So I was just going to do a little handle of paracord. And then I may do more of a lanyard. Get that right. So that way if I'm doing any kind of chopping or anything, I can kind of hold back here and it gives me something, or if I'm really cutting into something, just gives me a little something to hold the knife onto. And then I'll use this, got a couple more knots to go, and I think I'll use the extra and do possibly a ring, something to put my wrist in. That way I can put my wrist in it and hold it here. So I haven't decided yet. Something along the lines of that. So even if I do let it go, it'd still be on my wrist. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish that up. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish that up on here, and then I'm probably gonna go ahead and call it a night because it's getting dark. But definitely some more videos in the future, and I think probably in the next month or two, most of this greenery is going to start growing back, and I can hit up some of my other stealth camp spots. There's one right off the highway that I really like a lot, and I feel like it makes it really easy to get into, because I just kind of look like a guy walking down the street, very small backpack. I wait for all the traffic to kind of disappear, and then I cut just straight into the bush. And from there, the brush is so thick on the outside you can't see on the inside. And I cleared out a little hollow area, so I'm actually kind of excited to get out there. Last time I was out there, I used my hammock, and depending on how bad the ants are, oh, there's one right there. That's actually the first one I've seen all day. Then I may do this, or I may do a hammock. It just kind of depends. So we'll see. I'm gonna finish this up, and I'll be back with you guys, and it'll probably be a little bit darker. We'll find out. All right, now it's starting to get dark, so I finished up the paracord part, and then I came up with this little idea. I just did a little fisherman's knot, so I'm thinking this will work good. And it's a little loose, but I thought I might either do another braid, something kind of cool, or if I just twist it a couple times, it actually tightens it up pretty good. And then if I need it more tight, like if I'm really hacking something down, twist it a few more times, and then it's really in there. So I think that'll work out perfect. And then I got the stuff on my sheath, of course, and then I just did a quick pull system, so I can untie this, pull this whole thing unravels, and then I can unravel this whole thing, so that gives me some extra paracord if I need any. thought that might work. Anyway, so it's been a pretty good day. I did see a bunch of birds. I had a blue jay actually land right over here, and he was flying around doing his thing, so that was kind of cool. But I think that's it for tonight, so I'm out of here. Just gotta pack up and head back to the house and then start editing this video. So I appreciate anybody watching, anyone that follows along. Definitely gonna do some more camp stuff. My plan for this video was to kind of do a stealth camp, and then show how I set it up, but because of the distractions that didn't happen. So I'm probably gonna make another video, and I've got 2 trees in my side yard, so I'll probably do a whole video of how to set everything up and break it all down over there, so I don't have to worry about being heard or getting seen. That might be a little bit better, because yeah, I had to kind of hurry up and get everything put up over here, because I was making a bunch of noise walking around on all this leaves and everything. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video. Have fun.